afternoon, and also happy Sunday. This is part 3 for my legacy over likes. I'm sorry, there's a little nasty bug in here, so if you see me swatting, it's because I'm trying to kill him. I've been trying to kill him for like the last 10 minutes now. Anyway, so we're still on LOL. This is part 3. So still incorporated, legacy over likes. Today I want to talk about execution. Obviously, yesterday I'm kind of recapping. Is it kind of about trying to do everything perfect, do things when you're ready, trying to make sure you please the algorithm, and then also trying to master perfection. And there's no such thing. There's no mastering perfection. There's no ever gonna be a perfect video. What you always should be trying to do is be better than you were yesterday. And I even explained yesterday how I've looked at a few of my videos and I was a little displeased by the ums and the you knows. So I said I was going to try to talk a little slower. I was going to make sure I express key points over and over until they got, until they get understood, and the audience, you guys out there, will see the stamp on what I'm trying to say. Today though is about execution, because at the end of the day, whether this is something you want to do or there's something else you want to do in life, whether you want to write a book, whether you want to do music, whether you want to just run some kind of business, you just have to just do it. And you're gonna fuck up. Fuck ups are okay. You're not gonna always have all the money that you want to start the business. You're never gonna just have everything laid out. They always tell you to do business plans and all that. It's fine to do all of that stuff, but at the end of the day, execution is key. You'll build your wings as you fall off the cliff. That's the best way to do it, because if you sit on that cliff and you're building the wings, you might not ever jump off that cliff, because you'll be like, oh, these wings ain't perfect enough. I gotta do a little bit more rebuilding and touch ups and stuff, and you're never gonna get out there and just fly. It's usually best that you just jump off, build the wings as you learn how to fly on the way down, and when you do it, you'll figure it out. So that's what that's what execution is pretty much all about. There's really not anything I have to go into extensions on for this video, and I'm very pressed for time. But what I want to just come across on this is the fact that you do need to write down what it is that you're trying to accomplish and your why, because those things are important. As I stated, in pretty much all the other videos that I've done, you have to have a why. And my why is simple. My legacy. It's not about likes. It's not about trying to please the audience and stuff. You're gonna see me at my rawest form. That's why I created Raw Confessions, because it's pretty much reduce all worries. It's just like, I'm not worried about anything. I'm not worried about editing. I'm not worrying about the best intro, the best outro. I'm not worrying about no AI stuff. I'm not doing all of that. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't worry about that. You should do whatever it makes you feel good about whatever it is that you're going to do. However, if you do choose to do those things, like add intros and outros and captions and all these different tweaks and stuff, just make sure you have a deadline yourself. For me, every day, for the most part, when I do these videos, I usually do them on my lunch, so that doesn't have me sitting here with a lot of time to be, oh, I need to have this right, this and that. I just do it. And the days that I'm off, I usually just take a nice little walk. I walk up the street, and then I do my little video, and I walk back. And by the time I'm walking back, I'm done. Now I know you probably saw me yesterday in my car, kind of the same way, and it was my day off. I was actually getting ready to go do my little side hustles that I do, but I just try to do these on the fly, and I don't want to get caught up in trying to have the perfect room, the perfect angle, the perfect this, the perfect that. I just, however you see me is how I just choose to go about the video. And that's it. And the thing about this, you have to remember, kind of like, I use kind of like the Nipsey Hussle formula, God rest his soul. Nipsey, he did write a lot of things down, but Nipsey was a doer. He just did things, and I like the fact that it wasn't like he was trying to beat everybody, like he wasn't like running a race or nothing. He said, and that was his mantra. That's what he lived by. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So with me doing it this way every day, me recording, I feel like the longer I record the more I go at this every day, something's going to catch wind and something's going to finally fall into place. Whether my competition fall off and makes room for me to come in, or it's just going to become to a point where I'm undeniable because they're going to see the pacing of me in these videos and how I'm going about things. So at the end of the day, you just got to do it. The execution is you just believing that there's no one out there like you. So stop comparing yourself to somebody. Quit trying to, feel like you have to have the video like this other person on YouTube that's, doing it with better cameras, better mics, better AI setups and stuff. Don't worry about all of that. Just do the video, because at the end of the day, if it's in God's plan for you to win and be successful, you'll be successful. You don't have to worry about all the in-between stuff. You just have to kind of rely on faith and rely on in here and just run with it. Everything else will fall into place. Faith without hard work is dead. So, just do the hard work and just have faith. And and then there's also that saying, faith is pretty much like blind vision. Is basically, you might not necessarily see where you're going. It's just you're believing that you're going somewhere. You just execute. And when you execute, it just something's gonna have to give. Something's gonna have to fall into your lane and fall into your lap, and you'll make a way. So that's pretty much it. And with that being said, it's like, when you follow that, you follow your legacy, you follow your your why, the likes and all of that stuff. People will just see the confidence, they'll see the fearlessness, they'll see the execution of what you're trying to accomplish, and they'll like you, on their own. They'll find, something will find its way into somebody's heart and into their mind, because they'll see what you're trying to do. It's pretty much a reflection of God at that point. You become like this you're basically what's that word they use? I guess you're kind of like being like the middleman to a higher power. You're saying everything that he would say, but he's presenting it through you, and people will feel that, and they'll feel if you're being genuine. And if you're being genuine and you're coming from the heart about everything that you're trying to do and you're trying to accomplish, and I'm not saying doing what I'm doing, but just doing whatever it is that you're doing, people will believe in you and they'll trust you and they'll see the confidence, and then everything will fall into place. So that's pretty much it. This is actually my first 10-minute video, so I'm gonna stop it here. You guys have a great Sunday. God bless, and I'm out. One.